The first sign wasn't the massive ships that appeared at the edge of the Zephyrian system. It wasn't even the electromagnetic pulse that disabled every piece of technology within a 3-light-year radius. The first sign was the silence. Admiral. Kexthon had commanded the Galactic Coalition's 4th Fleet for over 2 centuries, and he had never heard space this quiet. The constant chatter of 1,000 worlds, the hum of hyperspace lanes, the background radiation of civilization itself, all of it simply stopped. "Sir," his communications officer whispered, her voice barely audible in the tomb-like silence of the bridge. "We're receiving a transmission. It's in the old Earth tongue." Kexthon's 3 hearts skipped in unison. Earth. That dead rock at the edge of nowhere that the Coalition had sterilized 3 millennia ago. The humans had been a problem then, too curious, too adaptable, spreading through space like a plague of innovation. The galaxy had been peaceful for 3,000 years without them. "Put it through," he commanded. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a figure that made Kexthon's blood run cold. Bipedal, standing roughly 2 meters tall, with pale skin and sharp blue eyes that seemed to pierce through the screen. Human. Impossibly, undeniably human. "Greetings," the figure said, its voice carrying an odd mix of politeness and barely contained fury. "My name is Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Reclamation Fleet. We've been away for a while." The bridge erupted in panicked whispers. Kexthon raised a claw for silence. "Impossible! Earth was cleansed! Your species was extinct!" Chen's smile was cold as deep space. "Extinct? No, Admiral. Scattered would be more accurate. You see, when you glass a planet, some of its children tend to survive in the dark between stars." She gestured, and the view screen split to show a tactical display that made Kexthon's stomachs drop. Ships. Thousands of them, emerging from what appeared to be empty space itself. Each one was sleek, dark, and radiated a technology signature, unlike anything in Coalition databases. 3,000 years, Chen continued, her voice taking on a dreamy quality. 3,000 years of drifting in the void, of building in the shadows between galaxies, of watching you divide up our solar system among yourselves like carrion birds picking at bones. She leaned forward, and Kexthon saw something in her, eyes that he'd never seen in any sentient being, a patience that transcended individual lifetimes. "Do you know what we learned out there in the dark, Admiral? We learned to wait. We learned to plan. Most importantly, we learned to remember." The tactical display shifted, showing Coalition installations throughout the sector going dark one by one, not destroyed, simply switched off. As if someone had found the power button for an entire interstellar civilization. "Your technology hasn't changed much," Chen observed almost conversationally. "Still using quantum entanglement for faster than light. Communication. Still relying on fusion reactors and gravity wells for power generation. Still thinking in terms of planets and star systems instead of the spaces between them." Kexthon tried to activate his emergency beacon, but his console remained frustratingly inert. "What do you want?" he demanded. "Want?" Chen laughed, a sound like ice cracking. "We want what any species wants, Admiral. We want to go home. The problem is someone's been living in our house." Another gesture, and the view screen showed Earth, not the molten wasteland it had been for 3 millennia, but a blue-green jewel hanging in space. Impossible. The planet had been dead, its atmosphere burned away, its oceans boiled into vapor. "Terraforming on this scale should take millions of years," Kexthon whispered. "It does," Chen agreed. "Unless you have millions of years, unless you have technology that can reach back in time and begin the work before you even left. Unless you learn to think like a species instead of like individuals." She stood, and Kexthon realized that every human on the view screen was moving with perfect synchronization. Not like a hive mind, something far more terrifying, like a single entity with a billion bodies. "We're not here for conquest, Admiral. Conquest implies taking something that belongs to someone else. We're here for reclamation. Every system you've colonized in this galaxy was seeded by us before we left. Every world you've terraformed was prepared by human hands. You've been caretakers, nothing more. The lights on Kexthon's bridge flickered and died, leaving only the pale glow of the view screen illuminating his crew's terrified faces. The Coalition has 48 hours to begin evacuation procedures, Chen announced. We're not unreasonable. You can keep the Outer Rim territories, the ones you actually found yourselves. But the core systems, the garden worlds, the industrial heartlands, those belong to Earth's children. And if we refuse? Kexthon asked, though he already knew the answer. Chen's smile widened, revealing teeth that seemed far too sharp. Admiral, you glassed our homeworld while our children played in its oceans. You scattered our species to the cosmic winds while our poets wrote love songs to the stars. You erased us from galactic history while our philosophers still dreamed of universal peace. She leaned closer to the screen, her eyes reflecting an ancient, patient fury. Do you really think we came all this way just to ask nicely? The view screen went dark. In the silence that followed, Kexthon heard something he'd never heard before in all his centuries of military service, the sound of an entire fleet's worth of weapons systems powering down in surrender. Humanity had returned, and this time, they weren't leaving.